let's go through the basics of your Google Analytics property. And we're not going to waste time diving into all the bells and whistles that Google Analytics 4 offers. Again, this is about the basics that make you money, right? The data that tells you how to improve your business. So let's go through those reports, events, conversions, whatever they may be. Let's give you those tools. So it's always important when you're jumping into Google Analytics 4 to be mindful of your date range. Now, what does that mean? Well, we're on the homepage here. This is my casaponcho.com website. You can see the users here, the event count, new users. Now you'll see in this card on the right, this is by default when you create your account. There's users in the last 30 minutes. This is Google Analytics real-time report. And what I mean by that is they give you a 30-minute window for real-time data. Now, if you go to your reports tab, you'll see an option for real-time. And what you see here is, again, the people visiting your website in the last 30 minutes and anything that they would have interacted with. Some data for the last 30 minutes. Now, when you're testing traffic from UTM links, or maybe you've created a new event, unfortunately, you have to wait 24 to 48 hours for that data to fully populate in Google Analytics 4. That's just how it is, but at least we do have this 30-minute window. But I want to move on from that now and go to your admin panel, because you would have used some of that to set up your Google Analytics 4 property. So here we are in the admin panel, and you'll remember that you would have used your data streams section to get your measurement ID and set up your Google Analytics 4 property. But what I want to highlight here is that you're going to live in the admin panel quite a bit, because in the events section, we can modify and create events. We can also modify conversions. We can choose which events are conversions. We can create new conversion events. We can create our audiences / segments. And we can even add custom definitions. So these are custom parameters, custom data that we want Google to pull from our website or whatever platform we're working with. And lastly, what you're going to want to note is that there is the debug view. So we go in debug view if you're using Google Tag Manager or another debugger. Here is where you'll see events happen in real time. You can break down if the data is coming in that you want to come in. The last thing I'd want to highlight is account access management. When you want to give a contributor access to your account to help you with your analytics property, you can give account access to them at the account level or at the property level. So what I mean by that is I can give access to a contributor to my Casa Poncho account, or I can give access to the Casa Poncho Google Analytics 4 property. So do you want them to only have access to Google Analytics property, or do you want them to have access to all your properties that you've made and that you ever will make? So typically it's common practice to just give access to the Google Analytics 4 property. So under your Analytics 4 property, what you'll want to do is you'll want to come down and give access through the Property Access Management tab right here, and you can control who has access to your account. Moving forward, we want to talk about default reporting. And so this is where it gets interesting, because let's talk about the reports that you can use today to figure out what's working on your website and what's not, and how to derive insights that will make you more money. So default reporting. Let's go to this demo account again, where we can access a whole bunch of demo data. And let's go over the easy to use reports that are just waiting for you to discover. So under your reports tab, you've got all your reports. Now your layout might look different, and that's totally okay. When you set up your Google Analytics 4 property, what happens is Google asks you what your main objective is, and it'll be something like drive online sales or examine user behavior. Now, again, it's okay if yours looks different than mine. What you do is, if you can't see an engagement tab here or a monetization tab, go down to your library folder. I'll show you what that looks like in a bit here. So let's go to report tab, and there's a library folder here. You click on that library folder, and here you can add other reports to your side panel here. So this is what's called a collection. You can edit the collection. So if I wanted to add a few other reports, I could come in here and I could say, let's add promotions to drive online sales. So here's the promotions report. I can drag that in right under tech details. And it turns out there is already a promotions tab here, so I'll leave that alone. But you can see what I'm saying, that you can just drag and drop. So whatever you don't see there, you can grab. So back in our reporting section, one of the main things that you're going to use is the acquisition tab under Lifecycle, traffic acquisition. This is where you're going to see where people are coming from to visit your website. Another popular tab, at least in my books, is the engagement tab, and specifically because the events data. Now the events are well, they're events that are triggered by something, right? So a click is an event. A form submit is an event, right? When someone submits a form on your website. When they watch a video, you can create an event that triggers when someone watches at least 6 seconds of a video on your website, right? A scroll is an event. When they scroll 50% down one of your pages, it's triggered as a scroll, so you can tell how many people are actually engaging with your content. So that's why events are important, and I like to look at why certain events are happening and where are those people coming from. Now you can find your events by going to your admin panel again and clicking on events, and you will see all of your events that are populated in Google Analytics 4. You'll even get a little breakdown as to how much they've been performing for you month by month. And you can modify and create new events as well. Another thing you may want to do is find your conversions. So as you can see here in the events section, you can see this. You can see that it says mark as conversion. You can choose which events are conversions. And conversions being when someone completes a funnel, so they go through every step in the funnel, the sales process. They see your ad, they go to your landing page, they sign up for your freebie, and then they land on the thank you page, and that signals the conversion. They have completed the funnel, that your advertising was successful. You gained a new lead. Well, you can turn that on as a conversion here, and then you can see it in conversions. And why you want to have conversions is because later on in the reporting tab, again, we can break down where those conversions have come from. So all we would do is we go to engagement again, and we click on conversions under events. And this is where you would see conversions. How many are happening, the total users, and total revenue generated by those conversions. And lastly, but not least, I will break this topic down more in the future, but you can create custom reports. The data we see here is only what it is, right? It's in front of us right now. You don't really see much to it though. We've got a conversion as view item, a conversion as view cart. We have 76,000 conversions, but it tells us the total users without us even knowing where they came from or how they got to that point, why they got there, right? So we want to fine tune this. And how you fine tune this is you go to your Explore tab. Your Explore tab will allow you to create reports that will further fine tune that data and give you the insights that you need. For any questions that you have from your data that you can't answer from the basic reporting, you come to Explore and you build your own charts. It's very useful.